And I am live. Welcome to this new discussion. Tonight, we are reacting to the unappealing character signals, deeper issues. It is a video from a channel I didn't hear about, and the name is Craig Owen. I am excited about that. That was a recommendation made by the Dragon. I don't know if it will be coming or if I will be alone. Let's get into it. Um, so I will screen share the video taken from YouTube. Let's get into it. I'm quite excited. I like that topic a lot. And I think there's a lot of things we can mention about that. So let's get into it, shall we?
The game industry is actively being reminded of this fact as we speak, with giant shows, movies, and games flopping left and right, and they have something in common: visually unappealing characters. As we'll see, it's much more than simply, are they doable? And we have multitude.
And I will be honest. Again, it's coming from the woke, and let's be honest on that. There was always politics injected in any media from any years. The big difference is the writing and how it has evolved and how progressive changed throughout the years. So let's play more of that, shall we? I'm curious to hear about that.
Multitudinous examples of how they are a reliable predictor of low quality. Usually, and we'll talk about possible exceptions later. Last week, the Game Awards showed off 2 new trailers that are generating some buzz. So let's talk about them to see why, across the entire entertainment industry, visuals matter in a visual medium. Crazy.
And I'll also add this: visual matter for marketing. To sell a product, you need the product to look good, and that's why I don't have my cam right now because I look like a mess. But I think uh, beautiful looking things always sold very well, and the woke don't like that. That's why they need to uglify so much things. That's why they need to strip away beauty to pretend that it's not a factor, it's not a thing. So let's hear more about what he has to say on the matter.
The more universally hated of the two is the trailer for Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet. That's the newest game by Naughty Dog, makers of The Last of Us and the Uncharted games, among others. This one's getting a lot of hate, and some folks might think that it's overblown.
It's kind of hilarious. I see that character right now at that moment, and I'm like, you know what? She looks like Kwan in the freaking Halo show. Did they take the same model? Are you kidding me? It's not appealing. It's by design. They don't want you to love what you're seeing. They want to change um, the visual scene. They want everything to look ugly, so maybe they will feel better. It's sad. It's unfortunate. Let's play more of that now.
But I do not. I think gamers are literally trained to recognize patterns, and this one's starting off in textbook form.
Oh, Greg, are you saying you're just mad because of how the main character looks?
It's an oversimplification of events, but yes.
Yup.
To be honest, I think it's fair. It's fair because it's the design the people behind the game had in mind. You can always critique and criticize and complain about stuff that's put no rewind that's put forward and that's being used in the media you consume. If they want something ugly, you can call this out. You can complain about it. You can disagree about it. And that's the beauty of freedom of expression. But hey, who am I, right? They all want ugly things to feel better about themselves. So let's play more of that
I
now.
am, because this androgynous woman of color who is shaving her head as the trailer opens gives me clues about the developer's intent and makes me wonder, what other changes have they made to educate me on what is problematic with my hobby? What's that? Oh, sorry. It's apparently also problematic that I haven't asked you to hit the like button yet. Boop.
And I will also say this. It feels very weird that the people trying to sell you a product want to uh, basically tell you what you should enjoy and what you shouldn't. Like, it goes against a free market, it goes against the consumer will. It's like forcing your own will onto the consumer because you think you are better than the consumer. And again, uh, the beautiful, it sells. It sells very well. So hopefully there's no ad here. Hopefully. So let's play more of that now.
I'm not sure if that microphone picked up the crackle of my knees, but I will never be doing that again. I accidentally ordered this in much too small a size, but I do like it. However, it's not printed on both sides, so I added a little flair. It's just the right size for some Turkish coffee, though.
Filler.
Overall, the vibe of the trailer is nice. I am not sick of the retro futuristic 80s aesthetic yet, so I'm not bothered by the funny product.
You know, let's go on a tangent right now. We always have these sci-fi things that always predict the future. And you know what's funny? What's funny? None of these future truly happens. We get like different forms of it. We get bits of what they predict, but it's never always like that. And yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. So let's play more of that. And so far, they didn't sell me the game. And maybe it's because I'm watching a video that tells me the game looks bad. I agree with the video actually, and I guess we create an echo chamber right now. So let's play more of that.
Placement, the synth music, the Akira Cowboy Bebop feeling that it's evoking. I'm good with all of this. And Naughty Dog has made outstanding emotional games. So I don't think that they should be written off entirely just for this one character. However, I know who's in charge of this studio and this game, and that's Neil Druckmann. So the appearance of this character gives me a little worry, and it puts the game on the back foot with me because I don't owe a video game company a single thing. Saying that the paying customers should want something that they don't want, it's not selling games.
That goes back to what I said, the free market. You cannot force a market. You just can't. People, if they like it, they will buy it. If they want it, they will get it. As simple as that. Some people will even go in debt to get what they want. So as much as you will preach, as much as you will try to force people to witness your dystopia or your utopia, depending on where you're looking at, well, if people don't want it, they won't get it. As simple as that. People tend to speak with their wallets. As simple as that. So again, we should really hammer that home. And I will share a bit of personal experience. I didn't play new video games for years. Okay, I came back with like Metroid Prime 4 Beyond and freaking Resident Evil 9, but like the last new game I played was like Naruto Storm Connection, and that was a massive disappointment. But you know what? You know what? Many years ago, I used to buy a lot of games. I have a huge collection. And you know what? I still purchase retro games and classics and old games. I still do that. I just don't see the appeal on the new product. It's like the people in the rooms making the games, they don't make the games for me. Or they want me to buy into them, but I just don't. And that goes back to what I said about media in general. I know so many people that tapped out of the gaming industry overall, and this is sad. I do think the gaming industry is a dying industry. So yeah, let's hear more about what he has to say.
And we are the ones with the power in this situation. These studios need us, not the other way around. You don't have to defend why you don't like something. They have to defend why it's in the game to.
You're the one paying, therefore, you're the one that counts and that matters. Bottom line, if a company decides to push for games that don't sell, you know what? They will lose money. Shareholders will not buy into it. Maybe we will have these rich woke that will still put money into projects, but the pool of people that will invest in your product will shrink. It will become smaller and smaller. And it's never good for an industry when you only have select people that will create the product. And when you want to dictate what people can like or not, you will also shrink the user base, the consumer base. So when you have a market that's being shrink in the room that makes the game and in the room that purchased the game, it's never a good sign. So let's hear more about what he has to say.
Begin with. And if they show you a trailer that you don't find interesting for any reason, you are well within your rights to never think about it again. In fact, I would encourage it. Make them work for you. At worst, let's say you're wrong. You miss out on a fun game. Oh no! That's literally the worst thing that could happen if you ignore a game. Listen, guys, I love games, right? Look at all this. But let's just keep perspective here.
You are a toy!
But
it's hilarious. I like that clip. And I ended up watching a big marathon of the Toy Story franchise. So it's kind of funny to see that. I think that's the perfect plug. That's a perfect moment there. We need more of that, folks. I really love that video thus far. I think it does deserve a like and a subscribe. I'm sold. I enjoy that. And for those who wonder where does this come from, link in the description below.
Intergalactic has more against it than merely a female character who looks like a stereotypical angry feminist. It is being written and directed by a stereotypical male feminist.
It's never a good sign when you're a stereotype. People cannot take seriously a stereotype. It's just the truth. They look at you, they will maybe laugh in your back or maybe in your face if they are respectful. But if they are hypocrites, they will go hide somewhere and they will laugh at you. So it's sad. The state of the gaming industry, I think, is very sad. And it's coming from someone that will get to play another playthrough of Requiem because that's the only recent game I really adore and enjoyed, because I was disappointed with Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, which is a game I played in a millennia without playing, you know? So let's play more of that video.
In an interview after the Game Awards, Druckmann said the game is about a fictitious religion and what happens when you put your faith in different institutions.
It's generous. It's hilarious. I will put on the mic, the camera right now because I'm laughing. It's coming from the left, and the left has changed so much over the years that now they are defending and praising institution. Keep that in mind. 300 years ago, they were taking care of kings and queens. That was the left way back then. Now they want to defend the establishment. They have changed so much. It's hilarious. I cannot take them seriously anymore. And I just wanted to have the camera just for that because I think it matters. So let's turn that off and let's play the video.
Oh, goody. More of this. I can't wait to play Critical Theory in space. I can't wait to find out how humanity is actually terrible and we've been the bad guys the entire time.
Oh, and by the way, I will also add this. You know, like if I wanted a crash course on politics, I would go in freaking School of Politics. As simple as that. When I am into a video game or a TV show or a movie, I want to escape. I want to go elsewhere because reality sucks and because politics in general sucks. Don't inject it in my media. As simple as that. Or try to inject it in a clever way. The way it's used to be, like, I don't know, 20 years ago or 30 years ago. Because let's be honest, politics again was always a factor. But the big difference is who tells the story, who makes the story. Now it's incompetent people, and we used to have great people. This is what happened. This is the decline, and this is the downfall. Hopefully, the Gen Alpha will learn from the mistakes, and once they start creating art and media, they will actually do something good. Finger crossed. Hope in the future. It's not as bleak as what the left really wants you to tell it is. So let's play more.
I can't wait for his ham-fisted lecture on how religion is bad in every way. Just that statement and the
And I will also push back on why they think religion is bad. It's because it controlled their life in the past, and they're all about freedom from something. And now, because they like the establishment, the schools, and the government, they need to push back on something, and that's the religion. And I will also be honest, I think religion is a wonderful thing and a beautiful thing. My wife is heavily religious, and I think one of the reasons we have such a wonderful relationship is that same religion. So when I see leftists hating on religion, I'm asking you all, what is going on? Really, what do you have in your head? How can we fill heads like that of garbage? Now, again, extremes are bad. Being too religious can be bad, but the emptiness and the lack of religion can also be bad. I think we should strive and find something in between. Because again, I think religion can really help. It's a sense of community, and it's also giving value, and it's also telling the people there's a greater good, there's a greater destiny. I can strive to be the best I can to earn my place in heaven or whatever they think the afterlife will be. So I think again, religion has a great strength. So when I see leftists attacking it, I I find that sad. I'm sorry, folks. I find that so sad. Uh, so let's play more of that video now.
idol, the heretic prophet, all of this fits into how immensely pretentious I already think Druckmann is.
I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
I would strongly encourage you to watch this speech that he gave at the International Games Developer Conference in 2013, just a few months after The Last of Us launched. I'll link the full thing below. Neil explains the process of bringing The Last of Us to life and the various iterations that it went through. It's genuinely...
I've never played The Last of Us, but I heard a really good thing. And therefore, I'm wondering, maybe one day I should play the game. And maybe I will pretend the second one doesn't exist because I only heard bad stuff about it. So that goes back to the market speaks. If your game sucks, people will speak out. And they will tell, no, don't purchase that. Don't go that way. And I think it's very good that people are vocal about their opinion on games, because this is how we have actual games that we love and care about. If we start silencing the people that tells how bad a game is, it's sad. Because again, you're no longer standing for freedom of expression. And you don't want quality anymore. You'd rather have a cool agenda or a shiny daily key the left likes to push down your throat. And it's sad. It's sad. So let's play more of the video now.
Interesting. And it reminds us that for all of his pompous attitude, the guy is a great writer. It's 45 minutes long plus Q&A after, so I'm just going to paraphrase parts. Relevant to today's topic is his praising of Anita Sarkeesian's Tropes versus Women in Gaming series of videos that had just started airing 6 months before this October speech. He takes a few minutes to bemoan the poor representation of women in game characters and the damage that it's doing. He explains that the birth of his daughter...
Wait. What is going on there? Samus Aran is amazing. Zelda, even if she's not main character in her own game, she is important, and people think more about Zelda than freaking Link. What are we doing here? I only have two examples on top of my head, but there's a bunch of cool chicks in Mortal Kombat. Sonya. I'm sure we can go on and on. Um, Again, there was always female representation. You just need to look at the right place. And even there, it's a more men driven audience. Most women are actually more into like farming stuff, Sims, nurturing and creating stuff, Minecraft, that kind of things. Do you really see a lot of ladies playing shooters? I know these tomboy that are ladies that enjoy shooters and that kind of game. They exist, but they are the minority. The majority of ladies, when they play something, it's to take care of something else or to build something because that's in their nature. It's let's be honest, it's in their DNA, it's in their nature. They carry babies. Not all of them, but like a lot of them do. And I don't care how bad it sounds. It's reality. Have some reality check. Stop with the whatever woke you have injected in you by the media. So let's play more of that now.
Otter during production changed his whole worldview and talks about the early drafts of The Last of Us when the game was still called Mankind. It featured a
By the way, Bayonetta, she is a lady and she is badass. She is stronger than lots of male protagonists. Thank you very much. Or the new girl in Stellar Blade, or Ashley, or freaking Grace. Requiem as Grace. You play as Grace for freaking half the game. And she is amazing. Yes, she has a character arc. She is not amazing from the get-go, but she grows to become amazing. I mean, she's taking out Lakers, who in the Resident Evil universe can really say that that they're playing with Lakers like they're toys or something. I haven't played a lot of Resident Evil, so I might be wrong. Maybe everyone does it, and that's just her turn. I don't know. But yeah, again, if you look at the right place, there's a bunch of cool ladies. You just need to know where to look at. As simple as that. So let's play more of that.
similar story of a girl immune to a worldwide plague saving the world, but in that version, only women could be infected with cordyceps. He claims that original idea failed because it was incredibly misogynistic.
I had this secret agenda that's becoming less and less secret the more I talk about this stuff. I wanted to create one of the coolest non-sexualized female video game protagonists. And I felt like with The Last of Us, if we did that, there's an opportunity here to change the industry. And I know that sounds pretentious.
It is
that was my
pretentious.
goal.
What you have here is someone who is...
I will pause here. Each time you will say it sounds pretentious, you're no Sherlock. You're telling truth. It is pretentious. It is pretentious, and I cannot stand it. You're not morally better because you're preaching at people. You're just annoying. And I won't purchase your dang game if you tell me it will sound pretentious, but this, and that. No, it doesn't work with me. Maybe it works with a small minority that's very vocal about it, but it just doesn't work with me. Simple as that. So now let's play more of this, shall we? Let's play more of that.
Dying to be an ally and ends up coddling the poor, helpless women that he needs to heroically save as a result. As his colleague...
And I think it's one of the most patronizing thing where you say, I need to put you on a pedestal just to give you justice. So you just say, yeah, you're underneath me. Therefore, I need to help you to elevate you. How is that empowering? I think it's going backwards. But hey, I'm just a far right? It's just hilarious. I don't understand some of the logic on the far left. I wish I could. Maybe I wouldn't be losing my mind here in Canada, but I do because this is what we are dealing with on a daily basis. So let's play more of that now, shall we? Let's hear more about what's going on, about how we need to treat people like they're subpar to elevate them because equity, right?
Colleagues correctly informed him a game where you shoot women in the face after they turn into monsters would look real bad. But that idea is not misogynistic, it's just a bad idea, that's all. But Neil wants to courageously denounce his former wrongthink, so you know how righteous he is now. This is typical white knight sexism of low expectations.
I like that. I like that. And the more you need to specify something, the more you highlight insecurities. As simple as that. So if you're praising and preaching at everyone, look how better I am than you. Maybe you have skeleton in your closet and you try to hide it by pretending you are glorious and so much above. As simple as that. It's like the small guy that streams very big to pretend this bigger than he is. Simple as that. Like how to beat a bear, like you know the big monsters in the woods. If it goes after you, make yourself big. Maybe you will scare him off. That's what a lot of morally righteous people think. If they make themselves big enough, they will scare you just enough so you pull back and listen to him and his righteous way. So again, they scream fascist, but they are the ones praising about a morally higher ground.
Crap, that is the staple of male feminism.
And whether we want to admit it or not, these are role models. And yet we sexualize, we objectify,
Look
we
at that,
marginalize,
Cortana.
we reduce.
Look, did we say the same in all of the Dead or Alive games where we got like these guys in chest? We don't do that because it's guys. We only complain when we objectify a lady. How is it equality? I'm all in. If you're to objectify a man, you can do the same to the lady. As simple as that. I feel like I'm far more progressive than these progressive. But hey, they are thinking backward. And I'm the far right crazy nutcase, right? So let's play more of that because I'm curious about the rant.
These female characters a lot less than they can be. And this is coming from a guy that almost made a really misogynistic game.
Oh my.
So I kind of know what I'm talking about.
There's almost
The end of the
nothing
world.
worse than a man who tries to worm himself in with a group of women by pretending to be more on their side than the women actually are, when their actual motivation is to use that. What was that? Gad Saad, the evolutionary psychologist who works at Concordia, he called that the sneaky fire.
Here's a crazy idea.
The sheep in I can't remember the clothing, but like it's like someone that pretends to be in your camp, but they are not truly in your camp. Sheep in something clothes. Again, if someone remembered the exact term, the exact way of phrasing things, let me know in the chat. So let's play more of that now.
Maybe when playing a video game or watching a movie, both men and women like good-looking characters.
They do.
I don't know. I guess I could be making it up. Oh, wait!
They do. They do. It's a reality. Like, do you think? Like, let's look at Smallville. Okay, Smallville. I know it's CW. It used to be WB, but let's be honest. These actor and actresses were not handpicked because they're the cream of the crop, the best of the best. They were handpicked because they look good. Like Tom Welling is 6 foot something, and way back then he was muscular, and the ladies and the gays they looked at him and they were like having that thirst trap. They were enjoying themselves. As simple as that. And you looked at Lana Crook, the same thing. You look at Justin Hartley when he just came as Green Arrow by season 6. How many useless high candy scenes we had with him in chest. Or more recently, we had Arrow that came out in 2012. Same thing, Stephen Amell. Let's be honest. I think he was a great Green Arrow. Not comic accurate, but a great character nonetheless. And let's be honest, let's face it, early in the show, in the first season, because I think it improved a lot in the second, but in the first season, it wasn't his acting chops that gave him his job. No, it was his body. It was his body. How many scenes we have him in the Arrow Cave doing chain up without a shirt? And I will be honest, he was cool with the stunts, and I think he was truly working out. But the moment you had an emotional scene in the first season or so, it wasn't always landing. So again, people, they like something that looks beautiful. And that goes back to something I said in the intro. So stop lying to yourself by saying, oh, people don't look at that. Yes, they do. Because softcore sells. It's always prettier to have a guy in chest than a guy in Speedo or some crap like that. I know some of you didn't want that image in your mind, but hey, let's play more.
Another study came out last month that can be added to the gigantic common sense pile. It says, surprisingly, women pick sexualized game characters more often when given the choice. Further, they rate characters who are strong as more sexualized than others, leading to the...
You know why? I know why. It's a power fantasy. If you're not a far left nutcase, when you play a video game, you want to be the best, the finest. You want to embody what you cannot be in reality. So what do? You pick the sexiest thing there is, because it's a fantasy. It's like someone plays a video game where you have guns and they tell you there's a pistol, there's a knife, there's a bazooka, there's, I don't know, like a hammer. Of course, you'll find these people that are more like a pistol guy or a hammer guy or a knife guy, but I think most of the people will see the bazooka and they will be like, that's my toy. That's because they will never touch one in reality. Simple as that. People love to feel empowered. That's part of escaping reality, because sometimes in reality you are powerless. So again, it doesn't surprise me that studies are telling ladies are looking at beauty because who wears makeup the most? I know some leftists, they started doing the same. But overall, ladies at large are more driven toward makeup and whatever accessories linked to beauty because they love beauty. As simple as that. Let's be honest, that's what they love. It's crazy to think otherwise. Let's play more of the video now because it's quite interesting.
This article's author to seemingly worry that strength paired with sex appeal can reinforce.
What is going on here? We got a new turn. We got something going on here. And the YouTube is glitching and lagging. I don't like it at all. I am wondering if it will get solved.
Force objectifying impressions. Or when playing a game, a fictional fantasy experience, women, weirdly, would like to look at something visually appealing and imagine themselves as both powerful and sexy.
Oh,
so weird. Now that can't be it. It's got to be internalized objectifying misogyny or something. Back to Neil, that speech reveals excellent writing is a group effort, if only in the sense that you need people to tell you when an idea sucks. He describes the iterative process, the shedding of poor ideas that...
This is the state of the industry. Some people making these games never play the game and they don't want to. And that's part of the issue. I can bet a lot of the folks that are far left nut job in the industry, they don't want to play any games. Even if the game tick their boxes, They only see the games as a platform for their woke message. And it's sad. It's sad. It's disgusting. It's sickening. We don't want that here. We don't want that. I don't want that. If you make game, love games. It's basic. I got a friend. He is part of teams that are creating video games, and he loves video games. More people like him should be in the industry instead of these activists that are just part of like why the industry is collapsing. There's a lot of factors, but like, let's be honest, it's the biggest. I got friends that never played a game for years, just like me.
Brought The Last of Us to the magnificent experience that we got that year. However, since then, most of that team has departed, including, hilariously, Amy Hennig, who had far more experience than Neil, but left the company as he was rising through its ranks due to creative differences. After she left, Neil scrapped all 8 months of that woman's work on Uncharted 4 and rewrote it entirely with Bruce Staley, the director of the first Last of Us game, who is also gone now, along with many other lower-level employees. The original voice actors for Uncharted 4 also left, one of whom was Alan Tudyk, who said he bailed because they were changing the script and taking it in a weird direction. Now,
Alan Tudyk. I'm wondering, is it the guy from Resident Alien? Alan Tudyk. I think that's the guy from the video games. They are more of the same, maybe. Oh, yeah. Wow. Interesting. Very interesting. He's also involved in video games. Wow. Okay, well, that's interesting. So when you got like someone that's a big name that just leaves your project, that should send you the signal that maybe you're doing something wrong. It's like he is leaving the ship before the ship sinks. It's logical. It's pragmatic. I know the left adores the word pragmatic. I think leaving the ship before it sinks is very pragmatic, especially in business. You don't want to drown with the boat. You just don't want to, especially if you're a star that has better opportunities that will actually give you money. Because if you're only doing failed projects, I'm sorry, but at some point the money will dry out. As simple as that. Money talks. Money is everything in most industries, and that's a driving factor. And socialists are wrong. So let's play more of that video now.
Druckmann is the studio head and head creative, and he is the writer and director of Intergalactic. He has full control of the studio and this project, and anyone with the experience and the balls to tell him his ideas are bad is gone. Who?
That sounds like a dictator. Not so progressive, or I should say, actually, it's far left, because the far left only tolerates the far left. And then they scream fascist. It's the irony is baffling. And speak to a leftist, you will speak to a wall when you say, "Oh, what I just said," because they live in their parallel universe. As simple as that. They don't live in reality. They aren't grounded.
Doesn't believe that his Sarkeesian simping will bleed into the game, with the only description of the game being that it's about religions, faith, and institution. Who thinks that and the main character are accidental outliers that have zero bearing on the direction the story will take?
Coincidence? I think not!
This is likely an action game where a spacefaring bounty hunter fights robots on a mysterious planet that no one has escaped from in 600 years using a gun and a laser sword that might have a waveform blade that reacts to the music in the background. God, that was...
Okay. You told me enough. I'm sold. I think the idea, the premise, that thing looks fun. Why did you add freaking identity politics in this trap? Really? Why? Why? Do you want to scare off investment? Do you want to sink the boat yourself? It's so sad. Really, because it had the idea. It could have been amazing. Just a fun game. Just slashing stuff with a laser sword and shooting stuff with a laser gun like a Star Wars game, but without the Force or the Sith or the Jedi. That sounds fun, right? Why did you inject all of the messaging and all of the politics? And you didn't inject it in a clever and hidden way. If it's the forefront of the discussion and why people should buy your game, it's not subtle, it's not good. So just because you want your game to be more about the politics than the gameplay, this is when you lost me. As simple as that. So let's play more of that.
It's a cool sentence. Imagine who is going to want to play that and what their expectations might be. If Neil, the same guy who unceremoniously took a golf club to your favorite character, is already subverting some of those expectations with this character and talking about the dangers of religion, what else do you think he's going to subvert? It'd be like if they showed me a gameplay slice where the laser sword toting bounty hunter in space is doing a mini game where they have to sort library books according to Dewey Decimal Number. What other decisions do you think he'll make in this game that you might not like? Are you going to pay to find out? This is why it's more than simply whamming bad in game. I know.
You know what? He's right. Woman bad, don't buy their game. No, I'm just joking. For real. Like I said it. If your game is more about gameplay than its identity politics, I will like it. One of the factors why I played so many times Resident Evil Requiem and I only played once Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is the freaking dialogue. It's night and day. Resident Evil Requiem clearly is made like old games were made. And Metroid Prime 4 Beyond were like, let's inject the woke stuff in it. Like, that's a great idea. The game was like stuck in gaming hell. I can't remember the exact word and term for that, but it was in L production. They spoke about Metroid Prime 4 Beyond for like 10 years before we finally get it. And they thought that was a great idea to inject politics in it. Look, there are many other factors. I also didn't want to replay Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, but like Requiem is the game. And again, you can go to my gaming channel and find one full playthrough and a second one, and I'm currently editing the Leon part for the second playthrough, and I plan on making more playthrough because Requiem is a stellar game. And you know what wasn't in Requiem? Politics. We had a bit of politics here and there parts of the universe, but they were subtle and they were so much in the background that if you don't look, you don't see. As simple as that. As simple as that. And there were nice messaging throughout Requiem, but it was handled by competent writers that their goal wasn't to preach at you. Their goal was to give a stellar gaming experience, and I do think this is what I got. So this is the big difference between Requiem and whatever the game we are talking about right now. So let's play more of the video.
Play. It's part of a pattern. It's a strong indicator. And while I would love to be proven wrong, especially with the premise that we've seen here, it goes poorly far more often than not. A supposed plot leak confirms all the worst assumptions about what Neil will do, which actually makes me think that it is fake. It's too perfect and in line with what people are afraid he'll write. Time will tell, and if this is like the other projects, we have like 2 years to wait. We don't have to wait for confirmation of some other entertainment that further strengthen this pattern. Just a few weeks ago, we got Dragon Age The Veilguard, where the character models and coloring looked unappealing, and one character was non-binary. Does that automatically mean the game will be bad? No.
It depends. Again, if this is what you play as forefront and not the gaming, the gameplay, or the music or other factors that people do care about, then yes, it will be bad. If your only selling idea is, oh, I got a wall game for you, good luck selling it to folks. Like Concord should be the example, but people never learn the right thing through what should be the right lessons. It's like the people that read 1984 and they thought this is how the world should be. No, this was a warning, folks. Take the warning. Be smart. Aren't you the educated one, the Laurentian elites that knows everything and everyone? Like, give me a break.
Oh, but it's a hint that the devs are not on the same page as the players. And lo and behold, they weren't. Delivering a bouncy action game where you flit about the screen, you have no control over your team, and your combat options are down to 3 choices.
That sounds terrible. It's a 3D game, and you got 3 options of attack. Are you kidding me? Like, okay, I get it. A 2D game like Mortal Kombat, I get it. I know it's more complex, and I just insulted an entire type of game, but we talk about a 3D game, and there's only 3 movesets. Are you kidding me? Really? Are you kidding me? It's sad. It's sad. I don't have any other word. So now my computer is dying and I forgot to bring my charger. So I will still play some of the video, but we will just replay some of it because that's interesting.
Many other lower level employees. The original voice actors for Uncharted 4 also left, one of whom was Alan Tudyk, who said he bailed because they were changing the script and taking it in a weird direction. Now Druckmann is the studio head and head creative, and he is the writer and director of Intergalactic. He has full control of the studio and this project, and anyone with the experience and the balls to tell him his ideas are bad is gone. Who doesn't believe that his Sarkeesian simping will bleed into the game? With the only description of the game being that it's about religions, faith, and institution, who thinks that and the main character are accidental outliers that have zero bearing on the direction the story will take?
Coincidence? I think not!
This is likely an action game where a spacefaring bounty hunter fights robots on a mysterious planet that no one has escaped from in 600 years using a gun and a laser sword that might have a waveform blade that reacts to the music in the background. God, that was a cool sentence. Imagine who is going to want to play that and what their expectations might be. If Neil, the same guy who unceremoniously took a golf club to your favorite character, is already subverting some of those expectations with this character and talking about the dangers of religion, what else do you think he's going to subvert? It'd be like if they showed me a gameplay slice where the laser sword toting bounty hunter in space is doing a mini game where they have to sort library books according to Dewey Decimal Number. Oh, but it's a hint that the devs are not on the same page as the players. And lo and behold, they weren't. Delivering a bouncy action game where you flit about the screen, you have no control over your team, and your combat options are down to 3 choices.
And
people praise
it says you have no control over the team. So what's the point of a game where you can't control your character? What is going on there? Did you wasted all of your money in in Sweet Baby Inc. to make sure your game is woke enough? Did you bother actually caring for the gameplay, or were you too preoccupied in counting the pixels because apparently now graphics are more important than freaking gameplay? This is why it's really hard for me to be convinced to purchase new games. I just think the industry has lost its way.
BioWare for the immersive, multi-optioned role-playing that you could engage in. One time, in Knights of the Old Republic, I was on like an evil playthrough, and I had saved a Wookiee's life, so it owed me a life debt. one of my teammates had a little bit too much moxie, and the game gave me an option to order the Wookiee to execute the sass-mouthed traitor, and he did. What did Veilguard do? Gave you no choice but to agree with and encourage everyone, even when they were actually being...
Is it a joke? Am I supposed to laugh? Maybe we should use it. Self-improvement and exercise. You good, Ash? How is it like a choice? I miss the old days. 20 years ago, Splinter Cell Double Agent on freaking PC and Xbox 360. I know people hated that game. I adored it. Spoiler. I think the game is 20 years old. It's more than time to speak about spoiler. There's in the 9th mission a moment you can take a life of a CIA agent. If you take it, the mission ends. If you save the guy, the mission continues. This is what I call good gameplay. Simple as that. And the same goes for like the very end of the same game. You again get the choice to either bang your boss with a bullet ear or bang with a bullet ear one of the bad guys. And there's also a third option that's more of a secret option that's not really straight in your face, and that's shooting in the shoulder of your guy. But depending on your choice, you unlock or not the final mission of the game. If you shoot the boss, you don't get the good ending, except if you shoot in the shoulder, and that's the secret ending. It's actual choice that impact gameplay. I liked it, and it's freaking 20 years ago. Fascinating. This game is older than some of my siblings. Wow. Anyway, let's play more of that video.
Stupid and annoying. No roleplay whatsoever. From the very first previews, Veilguard didn't look like a Dragon Age game, and then, shock of shocks, the team made a ton of choices that resulted in a poor quality game. An all-female Ghostbusters movie that features loud slapstick comedy is the polar opposite of what fans want from that series. Also, the movie was unfunny and terrible. Star Wars Outlaws looked horrible in its announcement trailer, and then, in a zany coincidence...
You see, I'm not in the bandwagon to just shit and trash Disney. I'm in the bandwagon. I hate Ubisoft for lots of different reasons. But I had seen that trailer for that game, and I was like, I don't care about it, because that's yet another freaking open world like they did 20 others before that one. So even before there was drama around the game, even before I heard bad stuff about the game, I didn't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. And guess what? I was right to get that approach, because I only heard bad things about the game. When the page shills that pretend to be a game critique are praising your game as being, oh, it's just average, you can expect the game to be very bad. And that was like $70. I'm sorry for all of the folks that paid it full price. Even with the Gaming Pass, I don't see myself touching that thing. I don't have Game Pass, but still, my point remains. This game is not worth a dime or your time. That's what I heard. And I trust the sources. I trust it. As simple as that. The mouth to mouth, the mouth to ears, the message throughout communities and such, they are telling. Sometimes you get a poison well, but that's fine. That's the risk of letting people having their opinion and being influenced by said opinion. So let's play more of that video.
Incidents was buggy at launch, literally unplayable for some. Not giving a crap about what the audience wants to look at also bled into not giving a crap about what the audience would want to do inside the game. Crazy. I need to...
So no wonder it wasn't well received by anyone. It doesn't surprise me. If you don't make a game for people to enjoy it, then people won't enjoy it. There's no magic in it. You need to pour some love in what you're doing if you want people to love it. If you just check a square, check a box. If you just say, oh, it will be all about identity politics, you may have, like, again, a fringe minority buying into the game, but I can bet not enough people will be tuned in and will say, you know what, I want to play that whole game. Even some people in the center, they think you're crazies. So what do you expect? Do you expect the far right to change their mind because you call them chods and bigots? Let me laugh. Let's play more.
Lie down from the shock. Rings of Power was extremely proud of its representation and went out of its way to tell us, like the audience cares about that more than Tolkien's work. And it was also so bad, I couldn't get past the 4th episode of the 2nd season, and I can get paid to mock it. Do you understand how bad that has to be? Concord featured unappealing characters who proudly displayed their pronouns. And even when the game was...
By the way, Concord died after like 3 months. And it just reinforced the idea that gaming was dead for me. When you got an online service game that just dies off after 3 months because nobody wants it, it's a sign. Your industry is in very, very bad shape, folks. Very bad shape. It's legendary. People will remember Concord to be the one abortion, the Titanic of the gaming industry.
This summer, the player count fell off sharply because the game simply was not enjoyable. Flintlock Siege of Dawn featured a character of color with the strong modern woman side shave, and it played sluggishly and lacked any manner of polish or interest or fun. The Marvels took a franchise mostly supported...
By the way, I love the Marvels movie. It's still a bad movie, but I loved it. And as of the other game, I just look at the gameplay and I'm like, this doesn't even look fun. Like, it doesn't look hard to fight someone. And it's kind of hilarious how that picture summarized very well. Embrace diversity thing. Very colorful picture there. I guess the woke, they control every industries. They have their claws and they scratch it and they bleed it out. Let's play more of that video.
By guys, and then made a movie featuring 3 average-looking women, and also the movie is a complete mess.
No.
That's true.
Is that enough?
I agree.
Should I keep going?
On its face, it all sounds like superficial, judgmental nonsense, but it's really just pattern recognition, plain and simple. If they go out of their way to do this thing that most of the audience wouldn't do and it adds 0 to the experience, then chances are extremely high that they did other things that will disappoint you. And we've seen it more than enough times now to...
And by the way, I will also push a little bit here. I don't even think that movie was that woke. There are other Marvel movies and TV shows that are far more woke. Falcon and Winter Soldier, it did hurt my soul when I ended up watching it. Brave New World was better and it pretty much had the same story. Civil War was very politically driven and very woke. We had Team Tony that was pro-establishment and Team Steve Rogers that was like, if we deputize heroes, then it can go wrong for so many reasons and ways. Like, look at freaking shield that fell into Hydra's control. Let's keep our agency. So again, we had politics injected in a lot of things. But the Marvels being woke, I don't remember that. There were chicks in the forefront. This I remember, but that's it. Oh, and a battle in space. A battle in space, folks. It's Star Wars. Marvel has become Star Wars.
Predict where this goes. The industry has crapped the bed way too many times, and Johnny Customer wants a divorce. The Venn diagram of unappealing characters to poor quality is darn near a circle, which is a real shame, and it's actually hurting the people that it claims to help, because there are exceptions. But
again, I will push back. I think I actually loved Captain Marvel in that movie. I said it. I cannot stand the actress. I think her movie is dog shit. But in the Marvels, she was actually enjoyable, likable, and everything she wasn't in any prior installment in that franchise. I think Kamala Khan is once again a highlight. I think Kamala Khan is being put in all of the worst things she can be placed in, but the actress likes the role, and the character is very enjoyable and daring and fun and entertaining. Even Monica Rambeau, that's the most forgettable of the bunch, she was having fun. So I think these characters were actually enjoyable. It's really like so many surrounding things, like a lot of stupids did happen in the Marvels, and the movie wasn't perfect by any stretch, but I don't think it was because of the characters. And I can point out to so many movies I'm watching, like even this year, like so many movies. I watch movies all the time. I review so many movies, and there are so many movies I will never review. And guess what? A lot of them have something in common. They all have trash characters. And nobody will talk about these movies, and they will be forgotten. The Marvels, people remember it not for the good reason, but they don't forget it because of the characters. They won't remember it either, but you know where I'm getting at. They are worst product out there. I can attest to that. Watch more than 3 movies a year and you will see there's worst. I've seen it. So let's play more.
they still aren't immune to the taste of the customer. Sadly, when someone has had a terribly cooked dish over and over, they start to become averse to the ingredients. Now, I don't blame the customer for that. The blame lies with the entertainment entities that prioritized feel-good virtue signaling over quality. And now, the sign of that virtue, diversity, is equated with low quality in the mind of the consumer. Case in point is a game that I'm excited about, with some reservations, and that is Witcher 4, this time starring Ciri. Here's where I'm talking about the customer starting to think the ingredients are bad, not the dish.
They brought The Witcher. It's kind of hilarious because the show feels miserably without Henry Cavill. I'm wondering if they will even have 2 extra seasons without the guy. The Witchers, I heard so much about it, never played the game, and I don't plan to because the TV show tainted so much the IP for me. It's exactly how I view it and feel it. So let's play more.
Because I'm seeing some outrage, not a ton, about Ciri being the main character at all, which I am confused about because the previous game was telegraphing that from a mile away. Like, if you're shocked that Ciri is the main character, you are this guy. However, if you like to play as the White Wolf and you are not interested in his protege, well, that's fine. You don't owe these people your time or money. It's a game. There are thousands out there. Do not try to justify yourself. However, the main complaint is that Ciri looks a bit odd in this trailer and is less attractive than she was in the previous game. She certainly does look a bit older and more weathered looking. Perhaps the devs were trying to show some time on the job and the accompanying world weariness. But ultimately, the Selfridge rule.
And I will also hammer that home. A lot of people that push for new beauty standards, they want to eliminate competition. The reason is, well, they don't want, if you're ugly, they don't want to be marketed out. So they say they want more ugly people to be liked so they have a fighting chance. And some of the beautiful people that push for ugly character are like, yes, babe, go for it. You know why? It's because some people will actually embrace being ugly and they will price themselves out of the market. So again, it's always about a market in a shape of form. I will try to rephrase it in a better way. Someone ugly push for ugliness. They want to normalize their situation so they can attract more people. Got it? Someone beautiful that want people to be ugly, they want others to be ugly so they can have a better chance because they're clever and they are smart. They know people are not stupid enough to fall for it. As simple as that. Now, I strongly believe there are people that are ugly and people that are beautiful that have been so much brainwashed that they strongly believe that, and it's not about competition. But we still must talk about competition. Competition is a factor. We are animals. Humans are animals. We are more evolved, but the core nature of humans is animals. Let's be honest about that. Let's be honest about that. Okay? Okay. What I wanted to say has been said. Let's play more.
Still holds here. Perception is reality when you're dealing with something like video games. If a customer thinks it looks bad, then to them, it is bad and they won't buy it. We all have so many choices for video games right now, and no one has to justify themselves for not buying a game. It says zero about you as a person or your character because you don't want to buy a game. But there is more to this. As I said, it's not just a contest about which character will make the best Rule 34 material. When something looks off like this, it suggests a pattern. When the company making a game makes an odd choice, makes you wonder what other odd choices there are, and unfortunately, there might be one here. I'm not up to speed on the book lore, having only read The Last Wish, although the rest of the set is on the way right now. So I could be missing something, but the trailer shows Ciri drinking a Witcher potion, which is poisonous to non-Witchers, and then we get a close-up of her cat eyes, which are the clear mark of a Witcher.
Interesting. So now she will replace whatever the guy was in charge of the franchise. Gerald, I think that's his name or whatever. Interesting. Why am I not surprised? It's fascinating. I do enjoy that video a lot. I don't have a lot more constructive things to say, and I see we are near the end. Therefore, let's play more of that.
I don't know, maybe they'll try to explain it, but it does present some lore problems, and it does give me a little pause about the direction that they might be heading. To keep it brief, in this world, there are witchers that are genetically mutated to fight monsters. There are sorcerers who do magic the way that we would traditionally think of it. And then Ciri is this character that has a different, older kind of magic, and she is extremely powerful. So I believe that most game fans wanted to see Ciri doing the job of a witcher, but in her own way, with her own abilities. That would have opened up plenty of fun gameplay mechanic options as well. The trailer seems...
And it's kind of funny. That makes me think. There was that new Zelda game I've seen floating around that you're playing as Zelda for once. That means no sword, no bow and arrow, only magic. And that seemed very fun. Now, my big issue is I've heard it times and times, so I will repeat it for those who didn't hear it or those that did hear it and like to hear that, because let's do it. We want, as progressive, we want to pretend there's no difference between men and women. Therefore, every woman must act like men. And that and then we got the birth rate plummeting. Let me laugh. This is what's going on. The left has lost the plot. They did. It's so unfortunate. It's what's going on. So this is what happens in this game. It's not enough to have cool magic and to be different. She must fight like the other guy. Cool. Great. I wouldn't be surprised if we got an Assassin's Creed. I tapped out after the second one. But I wouldn't be surprised if in the bunch we got to play a female at some point and she has the exact same skill set as the 20 other guys who get to play in the franchise. You know, I will bring back a great game I loved. Leon and Grace. Resident Evil Requiem. Leon, action-driven. Beat down monsters and bosses. Survival, horror, and action. Action-adventure. You feel powerful. You got so many guns, like... Where does he put all of the guns? And you got Grace that's scared and you have tension. The game feels so different. I love that game so much. And you know what? I loved as much beating the crap out of bosses and monsters as Leon, and I loved running away from them as Grace. And I will be honest, if they swap the role, that'd be weird because Leon was always great. Maybe you can swap the role with less experienced character, I don't know. But having difference in gameplay, that should be a goalpost. You want your game to feel different from the other games. You get to play that chick. Why do you need to make her play like her predecessor and the other guy? I don't like the idea. I just don't. The left took over and they're destroying piece by piece every media and every institution. So let's play more of that now.
To show this blending of the two worlds, you see Ciri drawing on some kind of elemental magic, but then also drinking that potion and doing these hand gestures called signs that are kind of a weak sort of magic that Witchers use. These things are odd. And bringing it back to today's topic, they happen to coincide with the odd-looking character model. That's the point here, is that design matters because it almost never happens in a vacuum. Ultimately, the complaints about this one are not just about how bangable Ciri is. They're concerns over the game's possible direction and whether it will give the fans what they want. But this one, I think, is going to blow over for a couple of reasons. One, this is a purely cinematic trailer, and we've seen these before where the early cinematic looks quite different from the gameplay. The old Witcher 3 cinematics feature a guy that is recognizable as Geralt, but certainly doesn't look like game Geralt. The other thing is that this series is a known quantity with a mountain of consumer goodwill. At this point, even the Cyberpunk 2077 launch disaster has been smoothed over for many after the game was fixed and the DLC was well received, I hear. I don't really know personally, but...
DLCs. I will speak about them. I hate them. As simple as that. Give me a complete game. I'm not buying into DLCs. I boycott every single DLCs. Even Resident Evil Requiem that I love so much. I boycott any DLCs. And when I see the sheeps and the pigeon, the birds that are begging for more DLCs, I wonder if I will purchase the next Resident Evil game. And again, I liked Requiem because Requiem is a complete game that's amazing. I've played over like 40-ish hours that game, and I plan on playing even more that game. It doesn't need any DLC, but I guess people have money to waste. Give me some. Give me some. If you waste it on DLCs, give me some. But again, if your game needs a DLC to be good, why do you charge freaking $70 to $80? Why? It doesn't feel justified. It doesn't feel right. It feels like you're scamming people. It feels like, your industry is dying and you want to milk out as much money as you can on your way out. This is sad. This is disgusting. I grew up playing video games. It was one of the biggest escape route for my past. I see the industry now. I'm tapping out. And I'm glad I'm not a teenager now, because I think I would suffer a lot. It's unfortunate. So let's play more of the video. I hate DLCs. Boycott them all. DLCs suck. So let's play
I did
more.
buy a really nice rig for editing purposes this year, and the Steam Winter Sale is soon, so... CD Projekt Red has a history of making quality games, and that will get them over this little hump, just like Sucker Punch with Ghost of Yotai. Naughty Dog also has a catalog of great games, but I wonder, after Last of Us 2 and Druckmann's various comments, if they will be given the same leniency. Personally, the only thing this trailer made me feel was excited that they're making another Witcher game. It'll depend on the gameplay and more details, but I think in a week or so, this won't be talked about anymore, and this game will sell just fine. At the end of the day, visuals matter, because they're the first signal of what a game or a movie prioritizes. It's not just about looks, it's about trust. When studios repeatedly ignore what audiences want, we tend to ignore them back. Or
Ubisoft is a dying company because people speak with their wallets. They don't buy into the new crap they are selling. So it's pretty accurate. It's bang on what Mr. is saying.
we get hostile when they try to hit us up with the 2 a.m. you up? What are your thoughts on this data trend in entertainment? Are you seeing this pattern? What exceptions can you think of that had
So, tonight we are doing a shorter show for many reasons. Well, we finished the video, first of all. I think that's a great reason. Second, I'm alone, and someone just went in the background of my video, which I'm truly sorry about that. But again, this was a very interesting video. I wish we could go on for longer, but I don't have much more to say, and I feel like covering another video could take very long. With that being said, what do you think is the state of modern gaming? Do you like modern gaming? I know I'm 50-50. Resident Evil Requiem is great. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond depicted many issues. With that being said, coming next on the channel, Monday or Wednesday, I don't know when exactly, I will be doing a Splinter Cell stream. I will finish both DLCs. I know I complained about them, but that one came with the game, so I guess I can forgive it. What else? Well, I will be talking about the movie Obsession that just came out this Friday, and this will be probably Monday or Tuesday. Wednesday or Thursday, we talk about James Bond once again. I will be ranking the actors, and we will be comparing Live and Let Die, the movie, to the book. This is what's going on the channel, and by the end of the month, we will be covering 007 First Light, the new video game that comes out, even if I don't really like the fact that you need to register it despite buying physical copies. With that being said, do all of the YouTube stuff. It's Canada, our laws are trash, and it's really hard for me to grow an audience. With that being said, have a great one, and take care. Talk to you soon. See you soon, and have a great weekend.